up our cold nights, support and comfort, support and comfort. Cascades flowing down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their heart, with love in their heart. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings. Make your small son a good Christian. Make your small son a good Christian. Blue, crystal wise colors of the sky. Green, bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Blue, crystal wise colors of the sky. Green, bushy beard, Santa look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy, or in pain. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the good, receive our prayers and also our heart. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the light, place our pains at the feet of Jesus Christ. When life lends a hand, it's time to open up your heart. It's time to love one another. It's time to take heart. Vibrate our ways, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate our ways, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into song. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrates our ways, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate our ways, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, Our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity.
Wherever you are, glowing seeds of love, as our Master Jesus taught. You will see that behind every sight there's a flame shining bright, tiny spark created by God. I will follow your path, Father, 'cause nobody's alone in life, and the scars of my destiny will be healed by your love. Disseminate wherever you are, glowing seeds of love, as our Master Jesus taught. As our Master Jesus taught.
Another day, another flower, another minute past the hour. Someday the sky is blue, and suddenly we can't see through. And every day is a fresh new start, when the sun turns off the moonlight. We get another chance to choose the road we want to cruise, and on the other side of the mountain there's always a whole new road, a new beginning calling after every end. There are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win and a new round. side of the mountain, there's always a whole new road. And a new beginning calling after every end. And there are a million reasons to pick you up after every fall. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round. It's always a win in the new round.
When I go in to pray, I look for my good Jesus, and when I close my eyes, I can feel all His light. I open my heart for all He has to say. He shows me the best way I can enjoy my life. Jesus, Jesus, they never we apart. Please bring all your light to shine inside my heart. Jesus, Jesus, I can be content. I have your endless love and your protecting hand.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our public meeting. We thank everyone for joining us tonight. Before we start, we would like to share a couple of announcements. We ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place during this time if possible. Our meeting will have a 30 minutes presentation followed by a Q&A. Following the presentation, we will also have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with water to be magnetized. And now we have a special invitation for those who want to learn more about Spiritism. Get to Know Spiritism is an online course and free that is happening every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. East. The next class will be this Saturday, April 30th, and the theme of this next class will be self-knowledge. Amazing topic, and you are all invited. If you are interested in joining us, please click the registration list that will be posted in the chat. We also would like to invite everyone to follow us on the Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube from the Spiritism Canada and Spiritist group Paths of Light. And now we will get started with the opening prayer, and I invite everyone to join me in this prayer. So let's close our eyes if you feel comfortable in doing so. Let's elevate our thoughts to our Divine Master Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for this opportunity that we have for sharing and learning more about Spiritism. We ask that you help us to understand your message behind this knowledge, so we can truly put in practice into our daily lives and become better person every day. We also ask your protection for all the work that is going to be done tonight. And may you be with us today and always. So be it. So, the topic of today's meeting is the advent of the Spirit of Truth, which is item 5 and 6 from the chapter 6, The Consoling Christ. And it will be facilitated by our brother Publio Lentus from Toronto. We also would like to announce that our public meeting is being retransmitted today by Continental Conference Americas through their Facebook, and will also be retransmitted every Wednesday at 8 p.m. by Kardec Radio through their Facebook. Everyone is welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and we will address the questions at the end of the talk. And now we invite our tonight's speaker. Welcome, Publio.
Hello, Larissa. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm okay. Thank you very, very much. I'm
How is
feeling good.
Toronto today? Is it
It's
sunny? Was it sunny?
yeah, it was mild. The temperature like around 10 degrees. So it's very, very good. But
Spring is here.
yeah, by the time this year should be a little bit warmer, but it's okay. We are happy. We had sun.
Okay, over to you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. So I'd like to say hi to everybody. Welcome to our public meeting. My name is Publio. I'm here in Toronto, Ontario, and we're gonna talk tonight. We're gonna just try to clarify some points, and we're gonna talk about the chapter 6, the Christ, the Consoler, or the instruction from the spirits. We're going to talk specifically about two items in the gospel according to Spiritism, items 5 and 6, the advent of the Spirit of Truth. So, this chapter comes with a lot of instruction, like always, but the specific these items, the instruction from spirits, is two that we're talking tonight and two more the next week, is very, very important because comes from this spirit that signed the message as a spirit of truth. But let's talking about what we have in the first message. He starts saying, I have come as I came in another occasion to those misguided sons and daughters of Israel to bring the truth and to dissipate the darkness. So, by this first phrase, we already know we are talking about the gospel that came 2,000 years ago by Jesus Christ. So, he came and gave us these instructions. As my words in the past have done, so mass spiritism reminds the incredulous that above them reigns the immutable truth, which is the existence of the good God, the great God, who caused who caused the plants to germinate and the waves to rise. So he came and starts talking about he's bringing back his words, his teachings, and showing us that the Spiritism will remind, will clarify to all the incredulous people on earth. And just to remember, this book, Gospel According to Spiritism, came like published in 1864, around April. We commemorate April 15, the day of the book. So we commemorate the Gospel According to Spiritism. And just a curiosity, there's a little words, little parts in our talking tonight. In the beginning of the first edition, they call this book as the imitation of the gospel. But people start thinking, but it's not an imitation. And he got some advices to change the name, change the name, change the name. And he agreed. In the next edition, they put Gospel According to Spiritism. So we're going to talk about some curiosities about this book, about these messages, about Kardec. So again, remind my words as my words in the past. Remember, his teachings 2,000 years ago that came, people forgot, they changed sometimes, and they say that the Spiritism will remind the incredulous. So those words are very powerful because it's going to teach us, remind us what we are supposed to learn with the Spiritism. And he say a phrase very, very important for all of us, especially for people that really wants to understand and not have any doubt about the Spiritism. He says, Spiritists, love one another. That is the first precept. Educate yourself is the second one. So he shows that his comments in another books about this is very, very important. He used to say that Spiritism must be learned, must be studied like a serious, like a science. Other than that, you cannot give any opinion about Spiritism because you didn't learn, you didn't study. But he put those two precepts very important. It's like a pillar for the doctrine Spiritist. Love one another and instruct yourself. So these give us two things we have to start doing. Love one another. It's not only I have to love the one that lives with me in my house, or love with me my wife, kids, the parents, the familiar reunion. No, we have to learn to love the humanity. How we do this, we're going to learn that it's a process that we grow in spirit and humility and learning how to love one another, like saving water. When I think to save a water in the planet, I'm thinking about not only me, but for the whole, all the humankind. So it's one principle that indicate that we start loving each other. Let's keep going. And there's some comment just to clarify some points. Before 1864, the published from this book, Kardec already had started traveling for all the Europe, talking about Spiritism. So he used to say that it's necessary to have like a school to study Spiritism. He said this in different times, different places. For instance, he had a magazine they called I'm going to say now Spiritist magazine, but in the end I have the real name in English. So he used to publish what he was doing, the traveling, the places that he would go, the message that he gets from different mediums. So he used to publish in the magazine that was like monthly magazine. So he used to say it's necessary to have a school like they have in the society, Paris Society, Spiritist Society. They have like a school discussion about the Spiritism, how it goes, because it was new for the humanity. So we need to study, to understand, and maybe have a property opinion about this. Let's continue our conversation. He continues saying, where you thought there was nothing, voices clamors. Brothers and sisters, nothing perishes. Jesus Christ is the victor over all evil. You can be the victors of impiety. That's the spirit of truth. Paris 1860. So just to remember, the publisher was 1864, but he started collecting, he started working this book since 1860. Remembering the first book, the Spiritist book, is 1857. So after that, he published the Medium's book, and after this book, the Gospel According to Spiritism. So he continues saying to us, there's nothing new about this new religion, this new philosophy, this new science. Everything was told by us, teaching by us, but to us from Jesus Christ 2,000 years ago. And he came and said again, where we think, a lot of people think, oh, I'm gonna die and that's it. There's no more life after death. There's nothing. And he came and said, no, no. Where you think that there was nothing, the voices come and tell you that we continue existing, we continue alive. And the second message is still from the same spirit, the spirit of truth. And he say, the work done by your hands furnishes the body with yearly bread. However, your souls are not forgetting. I'm the divine gardener. Cultivate them with the silence of your thoughts. This sentence is very, very important to us, because sometimes we think, oh, the spiritists have to work. God provide everything to everybody. So do I have to continue working like the regular job? Yes. This provide the maintenance of our body. But our soul, he came and gave us this message that says so deeply in our heart. I, the divine gardener, cultivate them in the silence of your thoughts. Cultivate what? Our souls. So we are not alone. Especially God never sleep. And Jesus Christ is always here, always between us, helping us, giving us examples, living with us. So that's the reason Spiritism is so consoling, because we start understanding, for instance, Jesus never left us. So that's the reason he's not coming back, because he is still here. He's with us all the time. He's taking care of us. What I mean, us is the whole humankind. The next slide. He continues saying, your sweat and miseries form the treasure that will make you rich in the superior spheres, where light substitutes the darkness, and where the most naked of you will perhaps become the most resplendent. I am with you, and my apostle will instruct you. So very interesting. He continues saying here that is necessary. We sometimes we suffer some difficulties. We pass for hard times in our life, but this will form a treasure for the superior sphere, superior life, the spiritual life. And sometimes the poorest ones here, are the one that more, let's say, same with an analogy, it's the poorest one, the way he said, the most naked ones here will be the most resplendent with the beautiful uh, clothes, let's say. So just to exemplify that the difficulties will help us to grow in spirit. And he said, I'm with you, and my apostle will instruct you. Who are you talking to? He was talking about Kardec, Allan Kardec. That's this figure that we have here. And Allan Kardec came with the mission to instruct all of us. He wasn't alone. That's the point. Just to remind everybody, Kardec didn't write the spirit book alone. He didn't write the mediums or the gospel according to Spiritism. He collected information, message from many different mediums, different regions, and synthesized and put together, because he is not was he still are a very intelligent person coordinating this big job that was bring to us the Spiritism. And he said, the Spirit of Truth said, my apostle will instruct you. So let's continue this line of processing. So here I have a picture of two new apostles. One is Chico Xavier. He's a Brazilian medium that wrote through this mediumship around 400 books. And this another person here is Emmanuel, his instructor, his mentor. He's the one that coordinates the whole production of those books, came from the spirits. And he, according to the instruction from the Spirit of Truth, he continues to say, instruct yourself in the precious doctrine, which dissipates the error or revolt, and shows the sublime object of the human trials. So here he's starting consoling us, showing that understanding, learning Spiritism is not going to make me a better person, or is going to give me the salvation. I'm going to be angel. No, but they're going to give me the reason, and give me the understanding the process of our trials here in earth. What's the reason I'm here incarnated? What's the reason I'm suffering? So Spiritism will teach us the reasons we are suffering. Again, it's not gonna take out my pain, the pain that I lost, the person that I love. It's not gonna take this away, but it's gonna teach me how to deal with these moments, because we're gonna learn with Spiritism that this life is just a minute in the eternal life. So our trials, we have to pass through them without revolt against God. There is this process, steps that we learn for our better life in a spiritual life. Continuum. So how I'm gonna understand the Spiritism? How I'm gonna understand the laws, the spiritual world? So Larissa already spoiled my conversation, because she asked us, she invited us to participate in the school. We have a free course every Saturday. Every Saturday we have a free course to understand. We call a basic cycle. It's 2 years, 6 semesters, about learning Spiritism. And the first course is Get to Know Spiritism. There we're gonna learn about many different, actually 14 subjects very, very important. For instance, uh, get to know Spiritism, chapter second is Jesus. We're going to learn about Jesus. Now, what, Publio, you asking, telling me that we're going to learn? I know the history. Yes, we're going to learn the history. We're going to learn the spiritual life. We're going to learn about charity and Spiritism Center. What that it means? Charity. That's remember the instruction for the Spirit of Truth. Instructed yourself, love each one, love your neighbor, and instruct yourself. So instructing is the course that we give here for free online every Saturday. A lot of many different spiritist centers in the world have this kind of course. We have here online, and we invite you to learn with us. So we're going to learn about God. We're going to learn about uh, spiritual life, obsession. So many different subjects we're going to learn here in this same channel, Spiritism Canada. So everybody is invited to do this. And another part, how can we get instructed to learn how to love our neighbor? We have in many different places people that are starting making goods to give to the one that needs. For instance, we have a food drive in Winnipeg, the group Spirit Group that do a food drive to help people in Winnipeg. We have in London, for instance, they prepare sandwich and goods to give to the people for one organization that helps people in need. So many different, there's no religion. That's the point. Spiritism did not came to finish another religion. They came to instruct us to get better, be a better person for the world. So if I understand, the Spirit said, if I understand that I have to love one another, if I have to understand that I'm not suffering because God forgot me, no, just to learn so we can grow in spirit. Our conversation is almost finishing. I know you guys are very patient, but still have some stuff. Continue with the instruction for this spirit of truth. He said, one day launch yourselves free and happy upon the bosom of He who created you weak, so that you might become perfect. So he is showing us that God created us simple, but weak for us to grow ourselves. So we have the 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 feeling that like nothing is given to us without any reason. Or if we think like that, we have to admit that God is not is not perfect, because he gives one something, another one another thing. So he creates us equal way in all the time, and it's it's us that like the picture, like you putting your hands in there's another phrase there, put your hands in the clay and create and model yourself to be a better person. So who desires that you model your own pliable clay in order to be the author of your own immortality? So we are the artists that are modeling our spirit for the immortality. So we are close to the end, but now I have a history. I have some interesting story about this spirit of truth. Starting. So in 1890, there was the last book about the Kardec codification. It's they call posthumous works book, because it was published after he passed away. So in this book, there's one passage and I don't remember by heart. I think it's around three, page 3 or 4. But he asked one day, he had a mediumship reunion, and he was talking to a spirit that helps him a lot since the beginning of his journey as a the codificator, uh, is Zafiro. And he asked the spirit, said, look, uh, lately, this lately, some spirit is knocking my wall. What's the reason? Because he already have experienced the communication with the spirits and the the tables and message from different place, and he was very interested and like annoying. Why the spirit is knocking my wall? I don't need this anymore. And Kardec asked the spirit, what is this? And who is this person? And the spirit said, well, this is a familiar spirit that wants to communicate with you. And this time, this this communication was on in 1864, before he published the Gospel according to Spiritism. He said, okay, if you want to talk to me, so I'm here. I'm very happy. It's a familiar. And but he said, okay, but uh, would you mind to ask him who is his name? What's his name? Because he wants to talk to me. What's the reason? And the spirit said, okay. By the way, if you want to ask who is him, you can ask directly to him because he is here, right here beside me. So Kardec said, okay, let me make a question, and maybe he can help me understand why he wants to communicate with me. So he's starting saying, okay, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for visiting me, to care about me, and I'm very glad for you to be here and helping me. And would you mind, for instance, to reveal your name? And the spirit said, well, I'm a familiar spirit. So just to remind, familiar spirit can be all the spirits that stay with us, incarnated or not. So he said, well, I'm a familiar spirit. Okay, this I understand, and I'm very glad for you to come and say hi to me, but how can I call you? What's the name I can call you? And he said, well, for you, just for you, you're going to call me the Spirit of Truth. So it's the same spirit that's in the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 5 and 6, 7 and 8 too. So this Kardec, so I'd like to say thank you, because and after this communication is there in the posthumous workbook, he put a note. He's saying that yes, this spirit always have been with him, providing him all the support necessary, even material support when one time that he really need. This spirit was there helping him since the beginning. But there's another comment in another book. They call the Spiritist Review. That's the name. The magazine is Spirit Magazine. They call the Spiritist Review. So these are a magazine that Kardec used to publish every month. Every month has one magazine, and the magazine in to 1864, there's a communication, the spontaneous communication from the group of Saint Jean in Bordeaux, May 1864. So that's the point that I want to talk to you to finalize our conversation. So, in that all the conversation is a big conversation. In the end, he said, there are various mansions in my father's house. I told you 18 centuries ago. Spiritism has come to make these words understood. And you, my beloved ones, laborers, who endure the ardor of the day, who think you have the lament the injustice of fate, bless your sufferings. Thank God who gave you the meaning to pay off the debts of the past. Pray, not from your lips, but from your improved heart, the Spirit of truth. So, just to finalize our conversation, the Spirit of truth that said in another group, in another time, was the familiar spirit from Kardec, was the same spirit that gave us this message and was Jesus Christ. So, just to show and help us to understand how important are those communication, helping us to understand that the life doesn't finish with the death. Then we continue living, suffering, praying, working. And I'd like to thank you. I know there's some questions, and I'd like to thank you all of you for this opportunity to share this moment. It's so quick, 30 minutes pass like nothing. It's like our life. 30 minutes is like our life. Pass in a minute, and we are already going to a spiritual world, coming back, go back. So that's the reason we are here, to evolve. So I'd like to say thank you and call Larissa to come back here. I guess we have some questions, right, Larissa?
Hi, Publio. Hi again. Wow. Thank you so much for your presentation and reflections on today's topic. It was really great. And especially this the end where you were telling the story about the familiar spirits that was with Kardec. It's such a good story, and we can definitely relate that we also have our familiar spirits with us, right?
That's the biggest point. When we think, oh, Kardec is related to Jesus, but we are sons and daughters from the same Father, God.
Mhm.
So we are always related. Don't worry. We have a good spirit taking care of us.
Okay, so we have a couple of questions and comments. So let's
Okay.
start with this one from our Facebook. So it's from Paulo, and he's asking why educating ourselves is so important, and how can we start educating us? I think it's
There's
because you said about the pillar of Spiritism, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting because again, the our conscience, like when you pass away, God, we think, oh, they're gonna ask me what I did, what I didn't do. So this reflection is gonna be individual. It's not gonna say, oh, talk to Larissa, she knows about me. No, it's a internal, it's an individual one. And uh, and we cannot blame anybody else about, oh, I have this life because Larissa didn't help me, she never invited me to study Spiritism. You know what I mean? So that's the important, how important is this, like, as soon as I understand, I stop thinking differently. I have start thinking differently, like about what's gonna happen about this incarnation. Oh, what happened when a person suicide? So all those things we start thinking differently, and we start getting better.
Mhm.
How we can start educating? We can start by ourselves. There's a lot of very intelligent people in the world that educate by themselves, but because the major people are not like that, we have those good angels that came and help us to understand the Spiritism. Just remember, the Spiritism start The doctrine is Spiritist is starting 1857, but he's not bringing anything new. He just collect all the information and put together.
Mhm.
So make us like make our life, the process on of understanding easier.
Mhm.
So the best way to start Spiritism is coming to our school, a free course every Saturday, 5 o'clock afternoon. Everybody is
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, and like it's a good way to not study alone, right? So you will be able to be in a with an instructor and with other persons learning with the same objective, right? So
Yeah,
that's
well, just so one thing you said that triggers me, not studying alone. Yes, but remember, we are not never alone. We
oh
have
yeah.
our familiar spirits that come with us, the obsessors. So any we are not alone, and but studying together make a big difference. Make
Hmm.
a big difference because most of the time your doubts is are the same of my doubts. So when you ask, I said, "Oh, it's
Hmm.
very good. I was planning to ask this." So studying together helps a lot. Believe me, we have experience on that. We in the second group already. So and here in Canada. So it's very, very important. It's very good that moments that we spend together. Believe you are in the course, right, Ralisa?
Yes, it's already in the second term, right? So
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying
Uh,
all the studies.
very
We have another question. So it's from Rodrigo Gomez, and he made the question in our YouTube. So, in addition to making our relationship with family and friends more fulfilling, how does Spiritism contribute to our self knowledge?
Wow, that's a good question. Self knowledge was one of the instruction from Jesus, but comes from a different time too. Uh, Socrates said, knowing yourself is going to be better for you to know the rest of the world. So it's the same thing, Rodrigo. Thank you for your question. Knowing the Spiritism help us to improve ourselves. Let's example, very very easy understanding example. Oh, I lost someone that I really love. So I lost, gone. There's nothing anymore. Finish, kaput. Right? A lot of people think like that because they are materialist. The
Mhm.
Spiritists show us that, according to many different books, proves that the life continue. And then sometimes when this happens, some people get frustrated with God. Oh, I don't believe God anymore because I'm suffering. Like I'm suffering and nobody else can do anything. But the Spiritists teach us to know those things, to help us to understanding that we are not alone. And then most of the time, those loved ones that passed away, they come back, they stay with us, they help us. Like the example we got today, the Spirit of Truth,
Mhm.
as was a familiar from Kardec,
Mhm.
and he's always here. We have some people called angels, protectors,
Mhm.
counselors. So many different names doesn't really matter. They are spirit that related to us, familiar to us. Sometimes it's my grandfather, grandmother that's
Mhm.
here helping me, giving me advices. Calm down, Publio. Calm down, Larissa. This moment is very important. Just calm down. Everything is gonna go away. And when we'll start learning, when we start learning this process and listening those voices that our conscience, because we always are mediums with
Mhm.
different levels, but we are mediums. And like the in the communication, if we go direct in the book, we're gonna see that God help us using us. What it means, like some people, sometimes you're, let's say you are very, very sad because something happened to you. So a friend comes to you and says, "Oh, Larissa, don't worry. Sometimes just a simple word
Mhm.
light up and trigger you. And you know what? Yeah, let's just give some moment. These things go away. Don't
Mhm.
God uses another people to help us.
Mhm.
So we have to prepare ourselves to be instruments to
Yeah.
help another people too.
Mhm. Wow, such an amazing conversation today. Um, and just like for the Rodrigo's question, it's really related to the topic that we will have on Saturday, right? Self knowledge. So, yeah, if you want to know more how Spiritism can improve your self knowledge, just join us on Saturday for that class.
Okay, but it's a good one. I'm gonna spoil your conversation now because I'm gonna be there next Saturday. But like a person just start listen to us right now. What he have to do? Where to look for? Are you gonna put in the chat here, please?
Yes, so
Because
the link is going to be in the chat.
uh-huh.
So it's just click there and register yourself, and you will be receiving the link for the class on Saturday.
We don't have to pay anything. Just go
No,
there
it's
and
free and
join with
online.
everybody.
No
Sing.
matter where in the world you are, you can participate with us.
Okay. This course is in English, right? But you have
Yes.
anything in different languages? Do you know? Because I have friends in different parts of the world, and they keep on asking me, "Oh, Publio, there's another. I don't speak English very well. I'd like to learn. There's another way. What do you tell me?"
Well, for now, we are offering in English, but we also offer in Portuguese as well, some of the
Oh,
classes, right? But right now, only English. Oh, here is the link. You will see in the chat. And yeah, just click there and make your registration to participate with us.
oh, perfect. Thank you, Larissa. I'd like to say thank you for this opportunity to talk about the Jesus Christ, to talk about the Spiritism, the Consoler. So it's very important to me to share what I know and share with people that I really love. And sometimes, like they said in this chapter, is very important. Was very important to me because sometimes we forget that we
Mhm.
have familiar spirit with us, and they are here with us, helping us, participating with us this conversation. So
Mhm.
thank you for this group. Thank you for all the spirits that came here, incarnated or discarnated.
Thank you for your amazing talk today, Publio. And I'm sure everybody's really enjoying listening to you and your reflections. Okay.
Thank
We would like to thank you all for participating in the chat, and we will now move on to the preparation for tonight's spiritual treatment. So, what is the spiritual treatment? PAS is the transfusion of a spiritual energy with the goal of assisting our physical, emotional, and mental balance. PASs help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with healthy and positive energy. In order to receive the best benefits from PASs, please follow the audio instructions or remain in prayer. You may close your eyes to help with mentalization. And during the pass, the water that you set aside in the beginning of the meeting will also absorb the spiritual energy that your family and you can benefit from. We will now make a prayer in preparation for the pass, which will be our closing prayer as well. So let's close our eyes once again. Let's calm our hearts and mentalize our Master Jesus and the friendly spirits that are here with us. Master Jesus, we would like to thank you for one more night that we could spend, learn a little bit more about Spiritism. We also would like to thank you in advance for all the benefits that the spiritual treatment will bring to us and to our family. We ask your protection for this week that we have ahead, and that this message that was shared by our friend Publio today reach everyone that is in need of it. We trust that you will be with us today, tomorrow, and always. So be it.
Let us now prepare ourselves for the moment of the passes and the magnetization of water. Let's now calm our hearts, breathing in and out. Pay attention to your body. Focus on your breath and let yourself be carried by this energy. Let your thoughts pass by without judging them. Let them flow. Allow this light to be the beacon that guides you, and allow these words to penetrate your energy. Make each word an anchor of gratitude, faith, and trust. With the purpose of healing, which takes away my faith, healing every feeling of separation, of pain, let it all dissolve in this moment, leaving only love, gratitude, and trust. We ask God for the presence of our guardian angel and the friendly spirits who welcome us into this enlightened environment of our Spiritist Center. We open our plexus of love and forgiveness by mentalizing a light surrounding our hearts. Find a quiet and comfortable place to begin the mentalization process. Remove all worries from your thoughts. We ask that during the pass you breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body relax and surrender yourself to a deep meditation. Calmly imagine divine energies in soft and colorful light surrounding you in an environment of peace and spiritual warmth. Entrusting God with your most intimate desires, raise your thoughts to Jesus and the emissaries of the spiritual environment. The path begins with the cleansing of your soul. Imagine a waterfall of crystal clear water pouring over us, removing all the feelings that keep you away from faith and trust. Feel the energy of this water bathing you and deeply breathe in, feeling peace and harmony. Allow this water to wash away all the impurities and spiritual larvae, washing away all the sorrows and resentments, any feelings of hatred and revenge that hold us back and cause us harm, not only from this life, but past ones as well. Now visualize spiritual doctors around you, applying magnetic cleansing passes, sanitizing your spiritual body of all sadness and negative energy. Mentalize these negative thoughts and feelings being washed away, evaporating from your soul, like water evaporating into thin air, and being carried far away from your mind. Surround yourself with the faith that bathes your being, bringing clarity and lucidity, rebalancing every cell in your body. May the water envelop all pain and bring the clarity of opportunity that chooses peace. The answer arises in our hearts, freeing us from all evil and freeing all whom we have caused evil into and who have caused us evil, washing away all the connections that bind us. Even though we may not understand, we are freeing ourselves from all that causes us harm. Feel this cleansing penetrate your soul and release. Now that we are spiritually cleansed, imagine yourself surrounded by the light of love from the hands of Jesus, At this moment, sing words of faith and gratitude, being faithful to the light that exists in me, planted by the zealous Father. Imagine the sunlight that surrounds and enraptures, freeing us from the chains of everything that holds us down, strengthening your faith. Allow yourself to trust in this light, surrender to it, involved in pleasant feelings and feeling relieved to receive the strengthening lights. Mentalize your spiritual mentors now applying divine light for the strengthening of your mind and your emotions, leaving you feeling emotionally revitalized. Let us now mentalize the magnetization of this water. May we mentalize all the friendly spirits, magnetizing this water and filling it with everything that our bodies, minds, and soul need, so that it may be of help to us when we drink it after the Pass. Thank you, God.
I would like to thank you all for joining us tonight, and we will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Concafros America at 8:30 p.m. East, and next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. East. Have a good night.
Someone told me long ago that life is just a long road. Sorry, mate, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled waters, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrows, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. Someone told me long ago that life is just a long road. Sorry, babe, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled water, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrow, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more sorrow, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. Let the sun on the way shine, shine. that the sum of the